Well, we didn't find the 1950 Denver key date Jefferson nickel by the 167th box for the Series 2 album to beat the number of boxes it took when we found it for the Series 1 album. That being said, we still have to find it. So we're going to continue on with this series, and we've got Nickel Hunt episode number 153 in boxes 168 and 169 of this series. Hey everyone, it's RobFindsTreasure and welcome back to my channel. Like I said in the intro, we've got a 2-box nickel hunt today, and I'll get to what the boxes look like in just a second. We didn't find the 50 Denver key date nickel. We're going to keep looking for it to complete Series 2, and we're going to keep looking for the nickels for the Jefferson album for Series 3. Now, the Jefferson album for Series 3 only has 100 boxes, so if we find 250D Jefferson nickels in the next 67 boxes, we'd complete Series 2 and we'd beat Series 1 for a new record. I will tell you that once we do find, if we find the 1950 Denver key date Jefferson nickel, I will take the nickels out of this side finds book and upgrade them into a regular Jefferson nickel book. But for now, we're not going to do that. The mission is still completing Series 2 before we get ahead of ourselves. Now, I said I would talk about the boxes. I got a couple of bank boxes here, picked them up from 2 different banks. I popped the top of this one to make sure it's circulated nickels. It is. And when I popped the top of this one, we have some customer wrap rolls in here. Now, I say I popped the top. She gave it to me opened. I just opened it up when I got it in the car, and she must have filled it up with some customer wrap rolls. So hopefully they're good ones, but the box itself doesn't look that great outside of what the customer wraps might hold. Either way, it's 50 rolls. We're going to go and hunt them. Now, obviously, I'll give you guys a look at the books at the end. We compare all of today's finds to them. But for now, we're going to get right to the hunt. You know the mission. Find the 50D, find buffalo nickels, find silver nickels, find anything for the collection. I'll be back when I have my first find of box number 1 of the hunt. Roll number 2 of the bank wrapped rolls will give us our first Jefferson nickel from the 40s. It's going to be a pretty damaged 1947 Denver. We're on roll number 11. Nothing was exciting in the customer wrap rolls. We did get 3 from the 50s. But I bring in because we have our first nickel from 1948. And it's a 48 Philadelphia in terrible shape. Roll number 18 will give us our first Jefferson nickel from 1941. And it's a 41 Philadelphia. Roll 24. Another nickel from 1941. Another Philadelphia. Roll number 28. Our first Jefferson nickel from 1946. Minted in Philly. Roll number 32 is going to have an old Jefferson nickel, or oldest of the hunt. It's going to be a 1939. Does it have a mint mark? And it doesn't. 1939 Philadelphia is confirmed. Does it have the DDR? It doesn't. And no Henning notch. I'll weigh it up just in case. I did see it already as well. Our 5th 1959 nickel. Another one from Denver. Well, we're already on roll number 49, and coincidentally, it's going to have a 1949 nickel. 1949 Philadelphia. Same roll. 1946 Philadelphia Jefferson nickel. Well, that first box has been hunted. It was pretty rough overall. Only 15 finds on the board. No silver, no buffaloes, no better dates. I guess a slightly better date. 1952 Denver here, but outside of that, no really great finds, and of course the oldest was the 39, but it's the Philly, and that's common. Hopefully box 2 does much better than that one, because 15 finds is not going to cut it, especially with no fun ones, but you still got to go through another 50 rolls, and you never know what this box holds. All right, I'll continue with the hunt, and I'll be back with my first find of the second box. Roll number 1 of box number 2 is going to give us an earlier Jefferson nickel. It's a 1942, and that is a transition year. Some were made out of 35% silver, others were not. This is not looking silvery, so if it's not a silver nickel, we'd love to see a Denver mint mark. And it does have a Denver mint mark. It is not silver. Let's see if that Denver mint mark is the D over horizontal D, which it is not. Still, a 1942 Denver nickel is definitely a better date. Not a key date or semi-key date, but definitely has a lower mintage, and I'll add it to the board happily and get back to the hunt. Third roll of box number 2. Jefferson nickel from 1947. And that's a 47 Denver. Roll 56 of the hunt. We've got a nickel from 1940, and it's our first. It does have damage, though. 1940 Philadelphia. Roll number 60. Another nickel from 1947. This time, Philadelphia. Roll number 66 is going to have a fun find. It's a foreign coin, and it's our first one of the hunt, and I'm familiar with these because I have found them before. That's a Swiss 20 Rapin. Swiss 20 Rapin, and it's 2011. Got the Libertas, God of Liberty on the front. Beautiful looking coin. Looks kind of like the Barbers, if you will, but still a really nice coin overall. It has kind of a proof-like finish, but it's not a proof. I don't think it is. Those are really low mintage, but either way, it's still a nice looking foreign coin. Our first one of the hunt. Now let's get back to it. Roll number 74. We've got another nickel from 1948, much nicer than the last one. Does have a little bit of ring of death on it. And that's a 48S. Yeah, let me get that focused in. That is a 48S for sure. We'll definitely take that. 1948 is a semi-key date Jefferson nickel. So now we have two better date nickels in this box. No silver or buffaloes and no 50D yet, but definitely a better box so far. Roll number 80. This is another 1940 Jefferson nickel from Philadelphia. Roll number 83 of the hunt will yield another early Jefferson, a 1948 Philadelphia. And while I have you here, the last roll gave me a super nice 1974 Denver. Looks like it has full steps, but there's a ding across the steps. We'll check it against the book later on. Still a nice find, even though it's a modern nickel. Well, roll number 84 is going to give us a fun find. It's going to be a buffalo nickel sliding down the roll. You can easily see it right there. I didn't see a mint mark. Yeah, I don't see a mint mark. Hopefully it has a date. And I don't think it's going to have a date. Let me just try to scope it really quick. We might be able to make out some of that date. I'm not quite sure. Let me see if I can make the date out. Otherwise, I'll have to nick a date it. It's just a Philadelphia. If it's a 35p, we can check for the DDR on 5 cents, which I don't see. But let me go ahead and see if I can get a date. If not, I'll come back after I've nick-a-dated it. Well, I was able to identify it with the loop. I might be able to get it on camera for you guys, but the last digit is definitely a 1. I believe it's going to be a 1921 because there's no mint mark. And because there's no mint mark, we know it can't be a 31. I believe that's a 1 right there, and you can just make out the 2 right here. While editing, it also could be a 1918 that I saw incorrectly. Just wanted to point that out as well. So it's going to be a 1921 Philadelphia. Not a better date. I mean, there's still over 10 million of these minted, but definitely a 1921 Philly, and we'll take that. Didn't need to use nick-a-date. We got a buffalo nickel in the box. We still have 16 more rolls. Let's see what they yield. Roll number 93, our third nickel from 1941, and that's a 41 Denver. Well, we finished that second nickel box. It was a tough 2-box hunt overall with only 31 finds on the board, and we didn't find the 50D Key Day Jefferson nickel, but we'll keep looking for it, and hopefully along the way, we have some finds. That being said, the 6 best finds of the 2-box hunt are going to be the 2011 Swiss Helvetica 20 Rapin. We got the nice 74D, could be an upgrader. 39p, nothing great about that, but I always pull out the 30s nickels. We got a 42D better date, a 48S semi-key date, not in great shape though, and a 1921 Buffalo nickel from Philadelphia that we didn't have to nick-a-date, and that's always good. Let me go ahead now and compare all of today's finds to the books. I don't think we're going to have any additions or upgrades. Maybe that 74D, but you never know. Let me just go ahead and do that and check, and I'll be right back with a look at the books and some final thoughts on this 2-box hunt. Well, I finished comparing all of today's finds to both albums, and as expected, no upgrades and no additions. And surprisingly, we have a really nice 74D already in the book, so we didn't need that one. So I'm just going to go ahead and put it in one of my nicer nickel rolls. So now, after 169 boxes searched, still missing that pesky 50D. Man, will we ever find it again? Who knows? After 102 boxes for Series 3, of course, we're still missing a 50D, and then both San Francisco 30s, Jefferson Nickels, the 38S and the 39S, those have proven to be very tough as well. Either way, I still had fun going through those 2 boxes, and hopefully you guys had fun watching me as well. If you did, I'd appreciate that thumbs up. And as always, everyone, happy hunting, and thanks for watching.